Hey everybody, welcome back to My Modern Homestead. If you don't already know, my name is Janet and I am so glad you're here. Today we are doing a meal where we're going to make chicken bacon ranch chicken patties. It was an idea inspired by my friend Mary Love, Country Living. My daughter says I've done them before and did a video, but I don't remember it. So if this video doesn't make it to you, you'll never know because I just won't post it. But if I have not done it and made a video, you are now seeing it. So what I need to do, I'm doing the intro now because everybody's home. It's noisy in here. And in case I have to voice over, I just wanted to do the intro. We're also going to do some cream peas from the garden. And I'm going to do some potato I don't know what to call them, kind of like potato logs that are seasoned, but I'm not going to flour them. So anyway, I need to run to the store and get another couple potatoes, and then we'll come home and get started on the chicken patties. Let's go. Okay, I've made it back from the store, and you may hear the lawnmower, but really quick before anybody comes in, if I can make it, let me go over with you what we're going to use to make the chicken patties. I have canned chicken, but if you have leftover chicken in the refrigerator, feel free to use that. Just chop it up really fine and use, I don't know, however much you think you would need for your family. I know I'm going to use at least 2 cans, if not 3. I may end up using 4. I don't know till I eyeball it and put it in the bowl. We're also going to use some diced onions, some canned bacon. Yes, I can my bacon. If you would like to see how I can my bacon, just look right up here and you'll see how to use it. I love using it for stuff like this. We're also going to use some sour cream. Look y'all, I actually found sour cream on clearance. And y'all, if you don't already know, sour cream, it's already, I don't want to say spoiled, but it's like a soured milk. So if it's a couple days out of date, it's not going to hurt you, but this is not out of date. It's just on clearance to get it out of the store. And we're going to use some dry ranch seasoning mix. You can make your own or you can use store-bought. Today, I am fresh out of my ranch mix, so we're going to be using the Hidden Valley ranch mix and some breadcrumbs. I'm using plain. If you'd rather use flavored and leave the ranch dressing mix out, perfectly fine. And then we're going to use 1 egg per can of chicken. Now when I do the chicken, I am going to use gloves to get this all mixed up because I just don't want to mess up my hands and get all messy in the kitchen. So we're going to break it up really fine and 1 egg per can of chicken. So are you ready to go? The first thing I'm actually going to work on is the potatoes. So let me get those washed and I'll bring you back for those. Okay, first things first. I'm going to take each potato, slice it in half. Then we're going to quarter it. And just make little wedges. Nothing too thick, nothing too thin. You want them to cook kind of quickly. So you want them more on the thin side than on the thick side. Yes, I'm using my chopping knife to slice. There's worse things in life. So there we go. And we're going to sit them in the bowl until we get them all chopped. Okay, there we go. I ended up only using 3 potatoes. I think this is more than enough for us, especially considering how much we're cooking for supper, but I do like to cook for leftovers, and my goodness, it looks like I'm cooking for y'all too, so y'all come right on over, I'll feed you. I almost forgot, before I get those potatoes going, I want to put the peas into the pot to go ahead and get them to cooking. These are some I picked out of the garden. so excited to get these cooked up. So let me get some water added into here. Now once these get to boiling, I will add in some chicken bouillon powder and a little bit of garlic. Y'all, these are gonna be good. All right, that's done, so let's go get the potatoes going. Let's talk about how to get these seasoned up. Y'all, it does not matter what kind of seasoning you put on here. Whatever makes you happy. But you do want to put a little bit of olive oil to help them crisp up and help the spices stick. Now this is paprika. You don't need to measure, y'all, just whatever looks good to you. I'm not going to put a whole lot because I want to show you why. listen to me. I'm using my homemade seasoning salt, and that's got a lot of paprika in it. It's got salt, paprika, chili powder, but it's got everything in under the kitchen sink and outside the kitchen sink. This is a little bit of Kenny's potato seasoning. Y'all, not going to use a whole lot because it does have a lot of salt in it. You can use chili powder, garlic powder. That's exactly what I'm putting in now. Paprika, salt. Y'all, just anything, really. There's no way to mess up a potato other than to put too much salt on it. All right, and then we're just going to rub all the seasoning in, and we're going to put them on a roasting pan in the oven at 325 degrees. Ooh, wish y'all could smell these. They already smell good. And if they don't look good and seasoned by the time you get through doing all this, just put some more seasoning on it. They'll be all right. You want to be able to taste them. They should be nice and have a nice color on them when you get done mixing them all up. All right, there we go. Let's put them on a pan. Okay. I have mine on this big pan with a roasting rack in it. That way there can be airflow under it. So just lay them out in a nice layer. There we go. Let's get them in the oven. Okay, now when we open this chicken, we are going to drain it really well. I saw somebody say, put a heavy bowl on top of it in a colander. We're not going to be that toothy with it. Just drain it the best you can, just like this. Okay, now I've done 3 cans so far. And I think that's probably all we're going to need. There we go. Then we break this up. Because this chicken, it's in really big chunks. So you just want to break it down into smaller pieces so that you don't have any big chunks of chicken. If you hear any noise, that's Alyssa. She's cleaning out my bacon pan where I cooked bacon. We're going to use that same skillet. She was just getting the grease out for me. There we go. Now I have done something very similar to these. I did squash and chicken and bacon patties. You can look up here in the corner and I will leave a link for that if you would like to see it. It's a great way to use up some extra squash. So there we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're going to put in, actually let me go wash this really quick. Okay, now one thing I did not talk about was flour. When I do my salmon patties, I like to put in a little flour and a little cornmeal. So that was 1/3 cup and I didn't even use all of that. So just sprinkle a little over there. I mean, not over there, over the chicken. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the breadcrumbs. Oh, gracious. Okay, that's probably 1/3 to 1/2 of a cup. Let me open the sour cream. Oh, my stars, y'all. I didn't think I would ever get this open. Okay, so this is 1 cup of sour cream in this. It's an 8-ounce container. I'm putting about half of that. Now, this is our ranch seasoning. We're going to put about 1 tablespoon. There's 1. There's about 1.5. Okay? If you want a lot, or what am I trying to say? A stronger flavor for ranch, just add 2 tablespoons. Y'all, measuring is not my thing if you can't tell. All right. Then we're going to add in some onion. This is some onion I just diced up and stuck in the refrigerator. It's about probably 1/2 cup. Maybe 1/3 cup, I'm not sure. Okay, here we go. We're going to open the bacon. Get it out. And I'm going to use about half of it. And the other half we can have in the morning for breakfast. And for this, when you can your own bacon, it's more crumbly than if you cook it fresh. So it's very easy just to break it up by hand, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, it's all crumbled. Now we're just going to take it and mix everything together. Oh, I didn't add the eggs. That was the palest egg I've ever seen. Let's start with 2. That might be enough since we have the sour cream in there. Yeah, I think it'll be just fine. I might add just a little bit more breadcrumbs just to make sure they crisp up nicely. But look, it makes a nice little mixture. Okay, Alyssa's helping me out. Okay, can you pour them in there slowly?
All of them?
No. Whoa, okay, that's good. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
All right, now let's mix this up and we're ready to go. Hey, baby, will you turn on that skillet you just cleaned out? She's going to go ahead and turn that skillet on so it'll be getting hot for us, and then we're going to patty these up.
Turn it on to 7.
Turn it down to around 5.
There's still grease on the spatula.
Yeah, it's okay. That's it. Thank you. Okay, we're just going to take it, not quite that much, form them into a patty, then they're ready to cook. You can make these thick or you can make them thin. The thinner they are, the crispier they'll be. We'll be back when we're ready to fry them up. Okay, our skillet is warming, but we're going to go ahead and put in just a little bit of vegetable oil. that will help crisp up the patties also. The skillet is pretty warm, the peas are boiling, the potatoes are cooking. It won't be long and we'll be eating.
The food right here.
You ain't.
What we gonna do?
All right, we're gonna put some chicken bouillon into the peas since they're boiling. There we go. And later on I'll add a little bit of garlic. All right, I just flicked some water in there. It's sizzling, but it's not going crazy. That's just the way we want it. So we're going to take each patty and lay it in, but we're not going to crowd the pan. While the chicken patties cook, I'm just going to wrap up some corn in this foil, and then we're going to put it in the oven while the potatoes are cooking. The corn will only take about 15 to 20 minutes. Basically all you have to do is just get it good and hot. So if you time it just right, you can put it in and have it done at the same time as the potatoes. Okay, now I've never made these before, so I don't know if these look right or not. It's my first time doing them this way. I did turn them down so that they cooked a little slower, so that they would get more done in the middle and not be burnt on the outside. I'm going to let that one cook just a little bit longer on that side. I would say that one's done. Okay, I'll add the others as these get done, and then we'll come back when they're all finished. I think when those patties get done, I'm going to fry up a little bit of squash, not really fry it, but saute it with some onions. So what I'm going to do is just chop these into little medallions. And we're also going to have some sliced garden tomatoes. So that way, y'all will have a nice southern meal to feast your eyes upon. Here's the squash, and then we'll just slice up not the tomatoes, the onion. When I do squash and onions, I like to leave it like this. Slice the onion in half and just slice through the half, just like this. And then when I'm ready to cook it, I will cook it in butter. Y'all, there's just nothing better. There we go, all ready. All right, the potatoes are done. Y'all, I just tried this chicken patty. My goodness. These will be made again. Oh, these are so good. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic salt to our peas. And these are done. Our chicken patties are almost done. The potatoes are out of the oven. I'm about to take out the corn, and I'm going to put in some rolls and cook up the squash and onions, and we'll be ready to eat. Okay, I'm putting some butter into, oops, that was probably too much. Oh well, there's nothing I can do about it now. We're going to let this melt and add the squash and the onions.
Oh, I can't believe I did that. Oh well.
Here I'm just going to add a little bit of that Kenny's potato seasoning. Okay, the squash is done. I just turned it off. Everything else is done. It's time to eat.
Oh, we got corn on the cob.
Okay, supper is done. And all the dishes are clean, except for that one cup that was already there. And the one cast iron skillet, but I'll clean it when supper's over. There we go, y'all. Just like that, supper is ready. Doesn't that look like an amazing plate? I wish you all were here. Thank you all so much for joining me. You know I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. So, until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys.